Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another conversation lesson here on New Year's Eve 2022, just in case you're watching this video at another time. Let's jump right into it. Let's have a look. I'm going to open our Ingu website. As I always mention, you guys can come here by yourself or with a friend, read through some of these articles or work through the material. Let's see what shall we read today? Oh, Pele passed away. That's quite sad. But let's go to tips to stick to your New Year's resolution. Seeing as we are New Year's Eve, maybe this can help you with the New Year's resolutions. All right. Well, let's jump right into it. As I always mention, I'm going to read the vocabulary first. I'd like you to hit pause after each word, read out the word plus the definition and the example sentence. Read it out loud so you make sure you got the pronunciation right. If you're not sure about the definition that they give here, so here we have stick to, if the to continue to use or do something is not clear, just type in Google stick to meaning and they'll give you all the different scenarios where, or the different meanings in different scenarios that you would find it in. All right, but let's go. First one, stick to continue to use or do something. Experts recommend sticking to the same sleep schedule every day. Next one, challenging, requiring a lot of skill or effort. Working with kids can be challenging, but it's very fulfilling. All right. Next one, line up, to have something ready or prepared. I'm not worried about being laid off. I've got another job lined up. Then we have keep track of, to continue to know about or be aware of something, someone or something. This app will help you keep track of your daily calorie intake. All right. Next one, reward, to give someone something because of their achievements. She was rewarded for her efforts with a pay rise. Last one, achievement, a thing done successfully. Winning the championship in his rookie year was a remarkable achievement. Okay, tongue got twisted there on a couple of those. See, even when you're a native speaker, sometimes your tongue ties up. It happens. Okay. Well, let's move right to our article. Again, I'm going to read the whole thing. You can stop after each little paragraph or each part, read it out loud again. If you're not sure, you can just skip a few seconds. Otherwise, if you get stuck, if you listen all the way through, you might have to skip a lot to get to get that part, to get to that part. All right, well, let's get started. Tips to stick to your New Year's resolutions. The new year is a new start for many of us and an opportunity to set resolutions or goals that we'd ideally like to keep. However, studies have found that most of us give up on them after just a few months or even weeks. So how can we make sure we stick to our New Year's resolutions? First, pick just one or two resolutions. So you want to eat better, do more exercise, save more, look for a new job, and take that dream trip to Hawaii. That's great. But if you want to be successful, choose just one or two of the most important resolutions on your list and focus on them. There's always next year for the ones you miss. Be specific about your goals. Instead of saying, I'm going to save more money this year, decide exactly how much money you want to save and how you're going to save it. Wharton School professor Catherine Milkman says resolutions need to be specific and are best achieved by sticking to a simple set of actions. Make sure your resolutions are achievable. Deciding, for example, that you're going to save enough money to retire by the end of the year is a nice idea, but it's probably very hard to achieve. You also don't want your resolutions to be so big they take over parts of your life that are important to you. Therefore, make sure your goals are a little bit challenging but not impossible, says Milkman. Find the right support. Milkman also says that when trying to stick to a resolution, the more things we line up to support us, the better. This could mean using a phone app to help keep track of your progress. Social support is also important, so you might ask a friend to join you at the gym each week. And don't forget to reward yourself for smaller achievements as you work to meet your resolution. All right. Oh, that's it. Okay, well, let's go right to our discussion. Again, I'm going to read the question, and then you can either hit pause before or after I answer it. If you want to listen to me first, you can add something to what I say or share your opinions after you heard what I said, or you can share yours first and then listen and see if we have similar ideas or similar thoughts to it. All right, number one, which of the tips in the article did you find useful? Useful? It, they were all things that I kind of knew already. Um, so it's not, it might be refreshing to hear it again. You know, sometimes you know something and then you kind of forget about it. And if you hear it again, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I should try and implement these things that I know already. But even that, it's all things that I kind of know. So it's not, and the things that I try and implement whenever I set goals, not just necessarily New Year's resolutions, but if I set out goals for myself, I try and do these things that they said already. So, yeah. Number two, do you make New Year's resolutions every year? Sometimes, sometimes not. Sometimes I feel that if I make a New Year's resolution, it's nice when it's at that time and it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of want to do this. Okay, let's do this, you know? But it feels like the start of a new year shouldn't be a driving force in making or setting goals for yourself or committing to something. It should, you know, like I haven't jogged or haven't exercised for a long time, and then I started jogging a week or 2 weeks ago. So a lot of people would be like, "Oh, okay, let's wait till New Year. It's going to be my New Year's resolution to start exercising," you know? But then it's like, why wait 2 weeks? Just start now. If you feel like, okay, I need to do this now, just start already. You don't need for to wait, oh, 1st of January, let's do this. If you feel 2 days ago like I need to do this, start doing it then. Why you have to wait? If you come in February and it's like, oh, now I have to wait 9 or 10, 11 months before I can do something. Uh, no, just whenever you get that feeling of like I need to start doing something, do it. But I mean, yeah, it's also a good time if you know, if it comes around and it's like, okay, let's try and do this, let's try and improve our life in some way, then sure. Anyway, all right, number three, why do you think many people struggle to stick to their New Year's resolutions? Uh, yeah, like I say, sometimes if your driving force is, oh, let's do this, let's make this resolution, and you're you're setting a goal with the motivation being it's new year, let's try and make things better. It's not like I have this lacking in my life, I want to fix it now, you know? So if that's your driving force, like I have this thing that I want to improve on, doesn't matter if it's the new year or if it's February or June or whenever. If you have this thing that I want to fix this part in my life, that's when you will commit to it more. But just making a commitment because it's a certain date is it's not something that's gonna last. You know, when you get tired or when things get difficult, it's like, just give up because you made a commitment on this I don't want to say thing of no value, but you know, your motivating force behind making the decision wasn't the goal. It was, oh, it's new year, let's make some promises or let's make some goals. That's why I think a lot of them don't work. Number 4, what's the best goal setting advice you've come across? Um, I'd I don't know if if I came across this or if because I read so many things and I watch so many like lectures or motivational things where I don't know if it's something that I heard somewhere or if it's something that I've just experienced. But for me, goal setting. Oh, goal setting. No, wait. Goal setting is different from working towards a goal. Goal setting, um, I would just say, yeah, probably plan how to achieve the goal. If you have the goal, don't just have the goal. It's like, oh, this is the goal. But you need to know exactly how will I reach this goal? What's the steps? What's the timeline? All of these things. Because if you don't have steps, if you just say, this is my goal for the end of the month, it's like, how are you going to get there? So if without that part, you're not going to get there, or you're gonna take longer because you're gonna go a certain way, and then it's like, oh, you come across this problem, and then you have to go back, and then you have to start again and go back, and where if you plan out, it's like, oh, okay, I might have these kinds of problems when I get there. Obviously, a lot of times there's problems that pop up that you weren't aware of or that you couldn't plan for, but you would be able to avoid a lot of that if you do plan. And then also, so that's the one part, and then having the time frame like they said in the article as well, you need to have like, I need to do this by within a reasonable time. Don't, again, like they said in the article, don't make it too short, um, but don't just have a infinite kind of, oh, at some point, because then you'll postpone and you'll never get there as well, or you might get there but it'll take you so long to get there. So plan how to get there and have a reasonable time frame. Yeah, that's what I would say. Do you know anyone who's very good at sticking to their goals? I am. If I, again, like not like New Year's resolutions, if I have something that I want to achieve and I put my mind to it, I will do it. From when I was very young, like if I have a goal, and that's why I think it's very important to have goals. Um, if I have a goal and I'm put my mind to it, when was it? 4 years ago? Because I was very fat and I wanted to lose weight. I wanted to get in better shape. And how long time did I give myself? It was quite a large task. I wanted to lose 20 kilograms and I gave myself like 4 months or something. But I know quite a bit about nutrition and exercise and all of these things because I used to be a professional cyclist. So um, I had that information and I knew how to get there. And then yeah, I worked steadily at the plan. And then the last month, I had to lose something like 7 kilograms still. And I just put down even more and worked even harder. And yeah, and I managed to get that. Um, yeah, same thing when I was still cycling. That was one of the I won the national time trial championships. And the year before that, I was very sick and I stopped cycling completely. And then I had to start from scratch again. And within a 6 month period, at the end of the year, I set my goals. The nationals was halfway through the year. And I was like, next year, this time I'll win national championships, which was kind of a crazy goal because I was so out of shape and I didn't ride for a year, whatever. But again, I just planned it out extremely well. I just followed everything. I put my mind to it. And yeah, so I'm very good at sticking to goals if my motivation is right and if I put my mind to it. Yeah. But a lot of times I also just make it go like, okay, let's eat healthier, and that's not gonna work. That's just crazy. I need, whenever whenever I want to make some change in my life, I have to set like a goal. Like this is what I want to achieve. This is what I want to, if I just say like, oh, I want to change this, and there's no motivating reason behind it, like I said earlier, I'll just, eventually it'll just fade away. Yeah. All right, well, let's go further discussion. How do people usually celebrate the new year where you live? Huh. Um, well, yeah, in Thailand, this is now my first year in Phuket, and we were actually thinking about going out to the beach. They have a lot of events around the beach, but probably not going to go out tonight. My daughter's not feeling that well, and wife has to work tomorrow morning early. So we might just end up. Oh, okay, that's kind of the next question. All right. People go to the beach, as far as I'm aware of, go to the club. Yeah. So if you're young, you like to party, go to a club. If you're older, go to the beach. They have some fireworks shows and some shows over there. Number two, do you have any plans for the for New Year's Eve? Like I just said, no. We wanted to go because it's our first year in Phuket, and but we'll probably stay at home. I'm gonna go buy. I have a few private lessons, and then after that, I'll probably go buy some bubbly, and we'll open it at midnight, and just have a relaxing evening at home. Do the old people thing. Number three, which of your achievements from 2022 are you most proud of? 2022, I didn't have many. Um, this year we moved down to Phuket. I don't know. Yeah, we moved down to Phuket. We bought a second property down here. Um, and we're still living a fairly comfortable life. Before I wanted to, I lived in Shanghai in China. I was working a lot and I was working like crazy, earning good money. But then when I got sick, I got cancer. I wanted to change, wanted to have more balanced life where I have time, free time. I have a job where I can have a life and earn money. And yeah, I'm managing that quite well. But now next year, I've got a few things that I want to do in the next year. Yeah, again, I don't like to talk too much about goals that I set for myself because for me, it's like these are my goals that I set. Like if I achieve it, I'll say, okay, this is what I wanted to do, and I managed to do it if I record whatever. But most of the time, I just keep my goals to myself because I don't like people looking at me like, following how's it going. It's just I'm doing it for me. I'm setting a goal for myself. So it's just between me and me. Um, sometimes if it's something smaller, I'd probably put it out. Like I'll show, this is what I want to do. Okay, after a week or whatever, you can put the steps on social media. But usually, if it's something important for me, I'll keep it to myself, like something of value. And I have some things kind of like number four. What are you looking forward to in 2023? So yeah, I've got some things that I wouldn't probably talk about now, um, but it's for me to know, for you to find out. Yeah. All right, number five, the best way to predict the future is to create it. Abraham Lincoln, what are your thoughts on this statement? Yeah, obviously they mean like, if you want, yeah, if you want to say, if you want something in the future, if you want something to happen, you have to make it happen. And that's very true. I do think so. If you be the change you want to see and also create what you go out and work, what you want to have and what you want to achieve, you know. Too many people these days are just in a coming to a point where it's like, oh, I want this. I'm, how can I say? I'm not, it's almost like it's my right to receive things. And I tell you, our rights, nothing's your right. If you want something, you go work for it. Nothing gets handed out for free, or nothing worthwhile at least. And also, if you receive things for not, you know, if you living in a family of extremely wealthy family and you just get whatever you want, you don't place the value on things that you had to work very hard for. Sometimes I wish, like, man, I wish I was born in one of these extremely wealthy families where I could just receive stuff. But then it's also like, yeah, you receive stuff, but then what do you have? What do you have that you can get excited about achieving? You know, you won't value things as much. I don't believe you would. I don't think so. So I'd rather be kind of struggling here at the bottom, but then once if I can work my way up and I manage to get something at a certain level, I would appreciate it so much more and I would value and also I would know the people that I'm around, like my wife, she's with me for me, not because of money. You know, so if ever I get money, I would know like this woman, she loved me for me. So yeah, I'd rather have that, to be honest with you. All right. Well, guys, that is it. So we're gonna wrap it up over there. I wish you all a happy new year. If anybody, probably you see it in the new year already. So I wish you a happy year whenever you watch this. All right. Have a good evening. See you next time. Bye bye.